My name is Natasha Paine and I teach PE. With regards to PE, KIT is supporting our rowing programme, and our rowing programme is in our curriculum and also in enrichment. So we're able to take all of our Year 10 students rowing this year in their core PE lesson, and we were also able to launch a rowing elite squad of 8 students, whereby we train weekly at Fulham Reach Boat Club from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. I feel that the students here at KAA, none of them had been rowing before we had launched our rowing programme, and some of them had never even been down to the River Thames, even though we live only miles from it. So I feel that without our rowing programme, there's very small chance that they would have engaged in rowing themselves, and I think it would be highly unlikely that they would have got into rowing later on, even if they were offered it at university, because they just don't feel confident in accessing it. Like, a lot of our students worry about the water and they can't swim. So doing a water sport is something that they wouldn't naturally go to do. So the fact that we have it in our core PE lessons and it's compulsory for a class, they're able to become more comfortable with it, access it, and then progress and do really well in it. So, yeah. We've also had our GCSE students who they have to have 3 sports that they're assessed on, and a lot of them only have 1 or 2. So the fact that we've then offered them rowing, we've trained them up as a part of our programme, they're now able to use rowing as a means of getting their GCSEs, which has been really beneficial for us because not that many schools are able to get footage of their students doing rowing. Jamie's Farm is a charity-run farm project whereby students, especially inner city kids, get to do a life swap for a week, and we go with them and we live and work on a farm for 5 days, and the students work in very small groups, so there's only 12 that we take, and throughout the whole week, the students are cooking every meal, they're sourcing the food, they're milking the cows, collecting the eggs. So as much of what we're doing, they can see the point of it. So they can see why we're milking the cow, they can see why we're collecting the eggs, because we're using that to cook all of our meals. And the students work in groups of 2 or 3, and they are always with a Jamie's Farm member of staff and someone from KAA. So we're really able to spend quality time nurturing them through these activities, because they're not always easy. Often they're quite scared, they're just not used to doing it at all. For me, the overall aim of KIT is to enable, I think, us as a academy to be able to offer the students as many opportunities as possible. And as we have a high proportion of kids who are on low school meals and are just not accessing a lot of the things that are out there, we're able to give them the sort of stepping stones to have these experiences, and also to put things in front of them that they wouldn't have in front of them or they wouldn't ever choose to engage in. And the funding is so important that we can not only do a one-off trip and give 12 kids an opportunity, but we can do that trip year after year and know that the effects of some of the students on the first trip, that we can then reuse those kids later on. So we've sent some students back to Jamie's Farm as mentors, and one student in particular who's a looked after child has had a lot of difficulties with confidence and self-esteem, and she came on our very first trip, and she went back last summer as somebody that could lend a hand and support and mentor others. So to see that change in her and for her to be given that opportunity was fantastic, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without having the funding through KIT. So the sustainability for us is also really important, because we want to see it grow and have an impact with the students after the trips as well.